Today we're going to go over how to manage the workflow and to work services in the service department and how it's done in InfinityX. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the merchandise repair task screen V003. That is really where everything launches in the service department. So let's open that up. And it brings up this screen. And we're not going to go over how to open a service here. That'll be, you can find in another video. But we're going to take a look at the existing services and how and what we need to do to complete them and get them moving in the path so we can get the merchandise back to the customer. We're going to start on this screen. Down here, when I bring it up, you're going to see all of the open services is going to be in this area. And I do that by clicking this Run Inquiry button. And let me, you can filter it different ways here. I'm going to show all the ones that are in the warehouse. So if I click Run Inquiry, it brings up all of the services that are open for this location. And something needs to be done to move them along the path. You can see that there are some in black and some in red. In Infinity, we try to help you move the process along by putting in follow-up dates and follow-up contacts with the customer dates so that the services can't go too long being ignored. The ones that you see in red are past their follow-up date. This date here is the follow-up date. So this is a test database, so some of these are really old, so don't worry about that. And the ones in black, we have not reached that follow-up date yet, right? So let's go back up here for a second and take a look at how you can filter some of these things. You can do it by service group. If I click that, there are some groups here. Again, this is a test database, so these aren't real groups, but you can have different groups that are responsible for different tasks in the service department. For example, you may have a group that orders parts. You may have a group that sets up service with an outside vendor. You can have all kinds of groups, and so you can filter by what that group is responsible for. You can filter by repair centers. If you have any repair centers, let's try this one. I'm going to click on that, click Run Inquiry, and you can see that I have 4 repairs that are associated with this repair center. Okay, let me get out of that one. You can look by an individual vendor, so all repairs for that vendor. And then you can also look at individual service numbers for just one service that you're looking for. You can also look for a customer and see all the services that they have open, or a particular SKU and see all the SKUs that those have. You can run do a date range, or you can look for an entire department. All the services in an entire department. Maybe one day you want to work on all bedroom furniture, so you can put bedroom departments here. The next one here is an important one. In Infinity, the way we move things along is by entering statuses for services. So we could start with opened, so the service has been opened. You can do return to stock, which is bringing it back in to your warehouse or store. There's a lot of different things here. There's at a repair center, there's a parts ordered that needs parts, so that might go, somebody might put it in this category, and then it goes to the person that orders parts, right? So by putting a task on things, you can organize things, and then it is up really to the management of that department to make sure that the different areas are being worked. Or if you don't want to work it by area. Maybe your company will just bring up the entire bunch and let everybody work on what's coming up first. So it's up to your company. We give you the tools. How you guys use it is really a preference within your company. The important part is it's not ignored, it's managed, so you don't have upset customers because things aren't getting back to them. All right, let's go. Let's take a particular service. Let's go with this one right here. That's past due when we were supposed to work on it. And I'm going to double click on that. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up the details for that particular service. Let me quickly go over this screen. First of all, the first thing you want to pay attention to is up here in the status. This one is ready and the truck delivery is scheduled. So this one's already gone through whatever needed to be done, and it is now ready to be delivered back to the customer. Let's see. So up in here, you're going to have the information on the customer, address, phone number, all those kinds of things. Over here, you're going to see the status of the service. You can see when it was opened, when it was last updated, and the callback date that we had scheduled that we passed without taking care of that. And you can see how many days it's been in service. I think this customer would have been a little bit upset that they're 170 days and they don't have their merchandise back. Again, this isn't real information. This is a sandbox. Over here, you're going to see information on the merchandise, the vendor, what they bought, when it was sold, those kinds of things. And down here, this is an important, this bar down here, this white bar, shows the warranty information. So you can see that this piece of merchandise had a factory warranty of 12 months parts, 12 months labor, and they did not purchase extended service. If they purchased extended service, it would have shown how many years, and it would have shown the expiration date right here for that warranty. That's important when the service department is dealing with customers. Okay. Down here, just some additional information on the repair, that this is a repair. We allow you to kind of put a note in there. Was it our fault, the customers, the dealer's fault? Did we damage it, when we were delivering it, or, some other way? Or was it the customer's fault? And so that helps later on if there's a cost involved with the repair. Over here, if you had a purchase order or a return authorization from the vendor because you needed to get parts or a new piece for them, that information could be right here. On this service cost spot right here, if you open that up, what that allows you to do is give the customer an estimate or not on what it's going to cost to repair that service. And then you can put the final cost in here when it comes in. And then you can say whose responsibility is to pay that. Was it something that is either the company's responsibility because it's in, let's say there's an extended warranty and we're paying for the repair, or is it the customer's? So you can put all that in right there and you have the history of it. I'll get out of that. I'm not going to cover chargebacks in this video because that will be covered completely in a separate video, that process. Okay. Down here where it says issues and conditions, if I click on that, you can see that this is where when we first took the merchandise in, it was entered, the item is scratched, customer claims the sofa makes his dog sad. Poor thing. You can also, up here, when you took the merchandise in, there was no note made in, but in merchandise condition, you might want to put what condition the merchandise was in when you received the merchandise. In other words, they may be bringing it in because it's scratched, but maybe it has stains on it, and you don't want the customer to claim that you did that. So you may put that dog urine stain on merch. How's that, Mr. Customer? Okay, so we're going to save that, and you have that. What's really important here is that even though we're putting statuses on things, the status doesn't tell the whole story. What you also need to do at the different stages when you're making changes to the service is go in here and enter notes. That way you're going to have a record of the things that you've done. So we're going to say here that, what happened here? What kind of note can we enter? Send merch to store for customer to pick up. How's that? Okay. So these notes are important, and you can see when I click OK Save, it puts it down here in the notes, and they are in reverse date order. And these things are not only important to keep a record of what's happening, but to allow other other employees to see what's happening. And for example, if you finance your own sales and you have a customer that gets a call from collections and they tell that collector that, you know, I'm not paying, but that's because you haven't taken care of my merchandise yet. And in this case, they would be absolutely right. So what you want to do is you would like to have these notes available for the collector so they can do something to help that customer out or deal with it properly. And also other employees in the company, if they come in and talk to a salesperson and have a complaint, they can always see what's going on here. So we're going to get out of that now. And then the big part of this screen down here where it says action, this is where you change the statuses for this merchandise. So you can see here, you have up here, you're going to have the information on the service. Again, you have right here the status that it's in right now, what the merchandise is. Over here in service activity, you see what's already happened. They opened the service. We returned it to the stock. We scheduled the merchandise for exchange, and then we scheduled it for a truck delivery, right? And these change by clicking on one of these actions here. Now, you see a lot of actions here. You will see as many actions here open as are available for whatever status it happens to be in at that time. So sometimes you're only going to see half of these choices up here because that's all that will apply. So let's say in this case, let's do a quick one here. We are going to, let's say we already delivered that, and so we are going to close this service. I'm sorry, it's not in the customer's possession yet. Let's do a different one then. Let's say that we are going to request a return authorization. No, they don't like that one either. Which one? Merchandise ready. All right, so then if I'm saying merchandise ready, I have the ability to either set the status as ready so the customer can pick it up, or we can arrange for a delivery. Like here, we can schedule a truck delivery, and that would, just like when you're scheduling a delivery at the time of sale, that will put it into that queue, and so it will be picked up by the warehouse to deliver this piece. I'm going to say we're going to set it. It's already in delivery because we had already set it up before delivery. Anyway, this thing's already set up for delivery, so it's not letting me change the status, and I'm not going to go through the process of delivering it right now. But you get the message. You can see how clicking these kind of helps drive things along. But again, that first screen that we looked at where it showed all the services, that's where you work them. That's where your employees keep the process moving forward. Right? And so now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to let's say that I'm done. I'm going to try to get out of here. I'm going to say update the next review, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to say, I'm going to try to escape. It's not going to let me get out of this screen until I update when I'm going to review this again and call back the customer. So what it's doing is it's not going to let me something sit out there and nobody work this. It's going to keep pushing this up in the line until somebody actually does something about this. So I'm going to put a callback date for the customer at the same time. So this is going to be in the queues. It'll pop up for those people working it to get either reviewed or call that customer back. And this is really helpful. I'm sure you've all found that if you call the customer and communicate with them, they're a lot happier than if they have to call you to find out what's going on. All right, so we are going to now escape from here. And we are back. We come back to this screen. And we're done with that now. We escape out. And this will, the next time I bring this up, let's go back to 88. That one will be now in black. I'm not sure which one it is here. I lost track of it, but it's one of these in black. So it is no longer in red. We've updated things. And that's how we work these things. That's how we keep the service process moving forward and keep our customers happy. Thanks for listening.